details of that conversation, but Manu just gave a quick overview
Striecher
of what the issues are before us. The most important thing is that we get this bill passed. It is a bold and ambitious bill that will reduce prescription drug prices, cap out-of-pocket costs for millions of Americans, reduce health care costs, pay down the deficit by as much as $300 billion, and make significant progress on combating climate change. That larger framework, I am confident all 50 Democrats will support, and we will get this bill to President Biden's desk.
Yeah, but the issue is that Senator Sinema, for example, does not want to close the carried interest loophole, thereby allowing wealthy hedge funds and private equity managers to keep paying this reduced tax rate on their income instead of the rate that most Americans watching pay. Has she given any substantive reason as to why this loophole should not be closed?
Well, Jake, this is something that I've supported, our closing. Everyone else in our caucus has supported closing, moving the time that you have to hold on assets in order to get this particular treatment from 3 to 5 years. It would raise $14 billion and would help us both pay down the deficit and invest in combating climate change. If Senator Sinema ends up making this one of the critical things that she refuses to support being in the package, we will have to change the scope of the package or find a different way forward.
Okay, so you're willing to get rid of that, but what about the other part that Manu just talked about, having to do with the minimum tax paid for corporations? Pat Toomey was on the show, Senator Toomey was on the show Sunday, and he said the problem with requiring a minimum tax for corporations is that it affects the corporation's ability to invest that money in future manufacturing, which was part of the 2017 Trump tax bill. How do you counteract that argument?
Well, let's be clear. This is a minimum tax that applies to corporations that are bringing in more than $1 billion a year in revenue. And as a simple principle, the idea that there should be a minimum amount of taxes paid by the very wealthiest Americans and the most profitable companies is something our caucus has come together behind. I do think we need to take a hard look at how it might impact competitiveness. You know, Jake, I'm someone who worked in manufacturing for 8 years, and we are just about to go to a bill signing on Tuesday where President Biden will sign into law the last major piece of legislation that we passed here in the Senate with a bipartisan vote, the CHIPS and Science bill, that does a lot to invest in manufacturing. So I think we have to look at both of these pieces of legislation, the incentives and the investments in manufacturing that come out of the CHIPS